Okay, this is going to be an air conditioning video for the LS swap into an LJ, TJ, whatever. So, if you're using the Novak pre-wired harness, this video will hopefully help you out. I've been beating myself up over this, and it turns out it's so simple that I needed to make a video because it's been killing me. So let's start out with the paperwork. On your Novak instruction, you have a light green with black and a light green. I'm about to show you what to do with those. Okay, this is my schematic 2005 LJ. So what's going on is your switch from the dash starts here, and it's going to send a signal, and these are ground signals. These are not 12 volt. These are a ground signal that it's going to go up through your switches to your PCM. So right here you have, or I have, a light blue with an orange. It's going to go first to the high pressure switch, and then it's going to go to the low pressure switch. And then once your PCM receives all this signal, it is going to supply power to the relay. It's going to supply ground to your relay. You're already getting power through your battery side here. So the next thing we're going to do is show you the high and low pressure switches. So your pressure switches are right here. So your low pressure switch, it's going to be the green one. Your high pressure switch, it's going to be the black connector. So these little pins, number 2, that is going to be light blue and white on mine. That's a select signal. Well, all it is connected to your black one, light blue and white. All those do is connect these 2 small pins together. That is all that wire does. That is basically the wires that you need to be concerned with. So, you remember me telling you about all this? Yeah, just get rid of it. It don't mean nothing, okay? It doesn't mean anything. If you're using the Novak system, the Novak wiring harness, that don't mean anything. So, what you're going to need is your high pressure switch and your low pressure switch. So let's get over here to the Jeep now. The Novak system uses 12 volts. And as I said before, your Jeep factory stuff uses ground to your PCM. So what you need to do is completely take the PCM out of the mix. This is not going to be operating your air conditioner. Your Novak is what's going to be operating your air conditioner. So, as I said before, the wires coming from the dash and the switch knobs, don't worry about these wires, it's really not that big a deal. One of them is a light blue and orange. So the one that I highlighted earlier coming from the dash is light blue and orange. Actually, that's the wrong wire. That's dark blue and yellow. Either way, they're both coming from inside the dash. So the light blue and orange, this is my high pressure switch. Your light blue and orange is right here. See, I cut that wire. Cut the light blue and orange because you don't need it. yours may be different color. It's the two wires coming to your high pressure switch, which there's your black one, and here's your low pressure switch. Your low pressure switch goes right there on your accumulator. Now, if I call some of this wrong, I'm not an AC guy, but I got this figured out, and so I'm now just trying to help you. So my high pressure switch, I will plug it in a minute. It's down there. If you're wondering what this is, it is not my air conditioner compressor. It's just my air compressor. That's it. So that's all that's doing. So this is my air conditioner compressor, is this the factory GM compressor that's low mounted down at the bottom. That's a whole different video. That's not what I'm trying to do to this one. So when I told you to those two wires that are connected, so you see on here there's a little pin and a tall pin. Say the one on the right is connected directly to your high pressure switch. So your low pressure switch and your high pressure switch are connected by one wire. I have my set on ohm, so whenever it makes continuity, it'll ding. So that one is set inside the small switch. There we go. All that is telling me is what I told you a while ago in the book. That on your two switches, your number 2, your AC select signal is a light blue and white on mine. Yours may be different. The high pressure switch, light blue and white. All I'm showing you is these two switches are connected by just this wire. Now what? Why did I get rid of all of this? Because you need a 12 volt for your Novak system to work. This is out, you take it out of the picture. So don't worry about what wires you have in your Jeep. Your green is all you need is a 12 volt source. So I'll get to that in a second. Your light green and black, okay, it's going to be running in series. So now instead of you running a ground from here and a ground from here and then a ground to your compressor clutch, you're going to snip these wires and get these grounds out of the way, and you're going to put your 12 volts there. This is where your light green and black comes in. Your light green and black is going to tie in to your request signal, and it is also going to be over here on your select signal. So why they're called that, don't ask me, I'm just telling you how to wire it up. So your two with the two long two taller sides on your switch number 1, that's where you're going to hook 12 volts to. And then you're going to come up here to your compressor clutch. So you got ground, which is black, so you're obviously not, and I've got the 4.0. Obviously it's the black one is the ground. You're not hooking it to that one. Your next one is going to be your dark blue and yellow. So come over here and I'll show you how to wrap them in series. So I'm going to plug my low pressure switch back in that sits on my accumulator. Don't worry about the coat hanger, it's temporary. So your factory wire from Novak, light green with a black stripe. Okay, this is my high pressure switch. I run it into there. I don't know if it makes any difference if you go to one or the other one. This wire here is the common wire that hooks back into my low pressure switch. So my high pressure switch, this is the one that's making continuity with this one. So you bring your black, or your green with your black stripe, and you wire it in. This is your 12 volt coming from the Novak. So whenever the relay kicks in, it's going to go to your high pressure switch. And then this is the other side of my low pressure switch. I've got it connected. that, after it gets connected to there, I've got these run on the outside of the Jeep just for simplicity. This goes to the positive side. This goes to the positive side of your AC compressor clutch. So whenever all these are satisfied, it's going to turn on your clutch. So now how the main one that's going to be working is going to be your low side, because it says over here in the book on the operation, your low pressure switch, this is straight out of a service manual. I don't know how to, if I downloaded it, maybe you can do the same. So your low pressure switch monitors the pressure of the refrigerant levels leaving the accumulator, the round can, to the AC when it's got a 4.0. It's electrically connected in series, so all that's saying is your wires are all connected to one, to the other. So right in here, it's so when the low pressure switch contacts are open to the AC suction line, we're going to operate somewhere in a pressure of 25 psa to about 40 psi. I said psa. 25 psi to 40 psi. So that's going to be on this gauge right here. So where do you get your 12 volts? Well, I decided I'm just going to put a push button on the dash. So for right now, this is your solid green wire. So we are representing 12 volts, and it'll kick the fan on when I touch this. And it also clicks on the relay. So I'm going to go ahead and start it up, and then I will show you how it's kicking on the compressor and the low side, the high side. That's how air conditioning is working. We're taking the Jeep PCM out of the mix here if you're using the Novak pre-wired harness. So in here, I'm going to have to put a push button on and off, because on these are ground signals to the PCM. I was going to do a ground fired relay, but for whatever reason, the ground is messing with me. So we're going to start it up. It doesn't matter what right now. It does not matter right now where any of these are set. Defrost, AC, circulate, whatever. Because that's not even hooked up. So now we're going to hook it up to, give me just a second, I'm going to hook this to my alligator foot. Okay, now I just got 12 volts to the Novak system. It kicked on my fan, and now my clutch is going to be kicking in and out, and we'll watch that on the gauge. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. So, for your air conditioner to work, you got to put in your high pressure switch too, because that's what completes the circuit. So let me plug it in right quick. Mine is way down here. Okay, now my high pressure switch is hooked up and my low pressure switch is hooked up. So let's do this again. So, start it up. Now, once again, I'm going to be hooking up 12 volt to the Novak system. Okay, now we got 12 volts. We have 12 volts to your switches, and we don't have a ground. And now, as you still need to add a little bit of Freon. I haven't got that part because I just now got the air conditioner working. So I'm going to unplug that so it's not overbearing. So I probably need to add a little bit of Freon, but as for right now, it's only about 68 degrees in the shop, so I'm gonna wait till it gets a little warmer. But you could see the gauge is moving. The compressor down below was kicking on and off like it should. So anyway, hopefully this helps on how to hook up the Novak pre-wired AC system.